It's in us. We just got to tap into that desire that's inside of us and go ahead and grow that thing and maximize that thing and make it do for us what it needs to do for us. Listen, that desire has been placed inside of us. It's not something that was created by us. That desire for you to be the best father that you can be to your children is something that has been placed inside of you. It's not something that has been created by you. The reason why I say that it's something that has been placed inside of you is because when you have a desire that's been placed inside of you, I always attribute that from God. That's a desire from God. When you have a desire to be a father, an effective and a good father, a desire to see your children grow and be successful, that's a desire that has been placed in you by God. And what happens a lot of times is that we run away from that desire. We don't want to acknowledge that desire, but it's still there. And once you start to tap into that desire and start to really pay attention to the desires that has been placed inside of you by God, then that's how you will be able to live a life that's on another level. Dead serious. My desire to give brothers the information and make sure that brothers come up out of this puppy in a whole different way, that's a desire that's been placed in me by God. Why? Because this stuff is bigger than me. Why is it bigger than me? Because I can feel sick. I can be in a bad situation. I can just got into an argument with my girl or whatever may be the case, and I'm still going to come here. It doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter. My desire is to get brothers the information. I done traveled in blizzards to get to Indiana and prisons and everything. Why? Because this stuff is bigger than me. That means that I'm not going to say, oh, hey, man, that CO just said that I was an inmate and I've been out of the penitentiary for 13 and a half years and I'm going to feel offended by that. I don't feed into that. I say, man, yeah, I did my 10 years, but I'm home for 13 and a half years. You calling me an inmate don't shake nothing up inside of me. Why? Because my desire is not for you to go ahead and acknowledge me as a civilian. My desire is for me to get brothers the information. So if you're not stopping me from getting brothers the information, you calling me an inmate does not shake me up. I'm going to continue to walk. That's what I do. Dead serious. I remember a warden, he had got upset at the CO who said that, what do you got that inmate in the staff barbershop for? This was when I was home for about 7 years. He says, how you got the inmate in the staff barbershop getting his hair cut? And the warden was upset and he looked at me and said, Carlos, you ain't upset about that stuff? That's crazy. You've been home for 7.5 years at that time. I said, man, it ain't even fazed me. Like at the end of the day, man, we pulling people credit reports inside of the joint. Man, brothers is disputing what's on their credit report inside of the joint. Man, that stuff don't faze me. When you start to say, man, you know what, we can't pull their credit reports. When you start to say you can't speak to the brothers, now you start to faze me. Because now that's about my brothers. It's bigger than me. That's a desire that was placed inside of me by God. That's why I say that. And then we have those other desires that we create, right? The desires that we create, you know that you created it when it's just impacting you. When we chase those desires that we created, our life will not be what we want it to be. I kid you not. What are some desires that we create? I want a Benz. I want a Bentley. Why? Because that's impacting me. That's just for me. I want to get high. That's impacting me. That's not bigger than me. That's the desire that's been created by me. It's not a desire that's been placed inside of me. It's a desire that's been created by me from the environment that I came up in.